You ready to go? Okay. Okay. So let's start our webinar officially. First, land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, I take this opportunity to acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional territories of Blackfoot and the people of the Treaty 7 regions in southern Alberta, which includes Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, the Tsuut'ina, and the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, including Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nation. The city of Calgary is also home to the people of Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. I would like to thank our program funder, IRCC. Because of their continuous support, we are able to bring these webinars to our clients. So thank you, IRCC, for your support and funding. Few house rules. Please keep your microphone on mute because we don't want any disturbance for our presenters. So please make sure your microphones are on mute. Secondly, please your camera turned off. I want to remind you that we are going live on Facebook, so please keep your camera off. No abusive language will be tolerated, obviously. Please do not post any personal information in the chat box. Please save any question for the end of the workshop and type them in the chat box. So our presenters will take the question at the end of the presentation. You can always type them in the chat box, or if you want, you can always raise your hand and ask them directly as well. An evaluation link will be sent out at the end of workshop. So we appreciate your feedback to ensure better quality workshop. So this is very important for us, and these evaluation form will hardly take a minute or two. So we will really appreciate if you can take some time out and fill those for us. Thanks a lot for that. And last thing, I will request everyone to please use the same name in Zoom which you have used during the time of registration, because after the presentation, we will share some resources, we will send evaluation link. So it will be difficult for us to locate you if you have a different name. So we will really appreciate use the same name, or if you can't do it, then just write your name in the chat box, okay? So my name is Nabil Vayani. I'm a newcomer employment specialist with Immigrant Services Calgary. I like to welcome all the participants today here in Zoom, as well as those who are joining us live on Facebook. In the past, we have received a couple of questions from our clients about interpretation and translation, because as our clients are immigrants and immigrants can speak more than one languages. So we received lots of queries in the past, and our today's presenters are expert in this subject, and they will answer your question and queries and tell you how to be certified and all those things related to the industry. Our presenters are from Immigrant Services Calgary, immigration from our own organization. And I would like to introduce them, Mahela and Jessa. And I really like to say thank you for us coming here and taking time out from your busy schedule and coming here and sharing all the information with our client. So over to you, Jess and Mahela. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you are having a lovely day, and we have a beautiful day today. My name is Jessa, and it's a great pleasure for me and my colleague Mihaela to be here today and talk about the role and the qualification of becoming an interpreter and a translator. I will share my screen with you so you have an overview of what we do on our department. To give you an overview on what we do at Immigrant Services Calgary Interpretation and Translation Center, is our goal is to provide the best service to help families, businesses, individuals who are having challenges communicating. Moving in new country might be a little challenging. You will come across new cultures, new people, new of everything. But don't forget, we have the big advantage. Speaking a second language can provide more job opportunities depending on which language we speak. Communication in a workplace is important, and more companies and organizations like us considering bilingualism is a high priority. I would like to begin with defining what is the difference between the interpretation versus the translation. Interpreting is a rendering message orally from one language into another. And translation, on the other hand, is a writing from one language into another. In addition to interpretation is a fast-paced and demanding job, yet highly rewarding for those who want to make a difference. I will share some few tips with you guys on how to improve the competitiveness in the job market and also how to get a professional certification that you might need to work as an interpreter. Candidates should meet the minimum qualification as follows: high school diploma or equivalent. Have a Canadian language benchmark score of 6 or higher. Demonstrate bilingualism and literacy throughout language proficiency testing. I will discuss this to you guys later. And hold a certificate for community interpretation training or CILISAT. ISC, Immigrant Services Calgary, is proudly affiliated with CSOC, or the Cultural Interpretation Service for our communities. We are also one of the test centers located in Alberta. And why are this certificate is important in this career? The CILISAT and CIT offers service provider like us to have a snapshot or to have a view of an individual of their current ability in interpreting fields. For example, we have to assess how they can speak their native language into English. CILISAT is a test that will assess your language and what is the difference? Okay, I'm so sorry. What is the difference between the CILISAT and the community interpretation training? CILISAT is a test that will assess your language and interpretation skill through English into selected language. We also call this the proficiency test for your language. While CIT is a whole package of training, this is an online training course that is based to 70 hours of self-guided study. Along with this training is your study material, case studies, audio recording, video demonstration, and quizzes. Is interpretation a professional career? Yes, absolutely. There are tremendous opportunity that we are waiting for the good interpreter. We also work with community, for example, medical clients seek for support to help them to go to their doctor's appointment. Education, for education, for example, teacher needs interpreter to help to help them out with the teacher and parents meeting. Also, social services in regards to counseling. We also cover the legal, which is the Calgary court, that help the client for their court appearance, trial, and court hearing. We also do businesses and conference. To be successful to become an interpreter, you must develop a good research school in this field. It will take time for the certificate, the training skills, experience, and practice. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any question in regards to this certification. And I will hand it over to my colleague Mihaela to discuss about the translation.
Thank you, Jessa. Hello, everyone. My name is Mihaela. I'm associated with Interpretation and Translation Center at Immigrant Services Calgary. It will be my pleasure to introduce how you can become a certified translator or a professional translator. So there are different types of translations. It seems to be a little bit easy at the first time, but at the same time, it's not that easy. There are some skills that you have to become a translator. One of the most important skill is to be fluent near your native language. So to understand the culture, where is coming from that document. So you, for example, you have a document to translate, you have to know how it shows in the country of origin to keep the same consistency to keep the same names, like according to Canadian curriculum. Secondly, excellent writing skills. As my colleague Jessa mentioned, translation is the written word. So the best example is to use translation is like a mirror. What we have in the original, that's what we have in the translated document, just in the target language. So excellent writing skills. We prefer and we highly recommend a degree, an academic degree in the source language. It will help you to follow the requirements, to offer high quality services. And last but not least, detailed oriented. So no mistakes are accepted. As I mentioned, this is like a mirror. So next slide, please. Thank you. So there are different types of translations. We are working very close with IRCC, Government of Canada, different educational institutions, and all of them, they have different requirements. 90% of the organizations, they accept translations completed by associates, by professionals. However, some of them, they have different requirements. So they require certified translators. We will discuss, I will introduce all these three categories. Next slide, please. Professional translator is a person who has a background in this field, in languages, or close to this field. There are no specific requirements for this category. The translations are accepted by IRCC, by Citizenship Canada. However, we highly recommend, and our priority are people with certification, at least CILISAT, and a diploma or degree. How to become an associate? So we mentioned Alberta as different province in Canada has their own association, and they have different requirements. In our case, we'll discuss about ATIA. ATIA is an association of translators and interpreters in Alberta. So the candidates for ATIA must pass an exam with CTTIC, which is Canadian Translators Terminologists and Interpreters Council. On ATIA's website, there is a list of tutors. They will be more than happy to help you, to guide you how to prepare for that exam. So once you feel you're ready, that exam is taking place yearly in Edmonton or Calgary, so you can choose one of those locations if you are located in Alberta. So you have to pass the code of ethics. There is a code of ethics for freelancers, and the exam is minimum 70% for the candidate to get the associate level. So once a client is looking for a translator, for example, from Spanish to English, they will go to the website, they will see, okay, they are a member of ATIA, they are associate, and they can choose, like, depends on the requirements of the translations. Once you become the associate member of an organization, of an association, the candidate has 6 years to become a certified translator. Next slide, please. So a certified translator has different requirements. How you can become? Also is an exam with the CTTIC, and you can become a certified translator only if you're an associate in a good standing with the association. There are some minimum words you have to translate before the certification. As we can see in the chart, so there are options. If you have the degree in the translation sector from a recognized institution, The official language of translation, French or English or vice versa, should be 100,000 words. For non-official languages, 30,000 words. Without a degree in translation, as we can see, 400,000 words. And for non-official, 120,000 words. So once you became an associate with the association, you will have a tool where you can count the words you translated. Then the association will ask you to pay the examination fee. The passing exam is also like 70%. And they will ask also for portfolio. Then they will assess your portfolio and you can take the exam. So at that point, if you pass the exam, in your profile with ATIA will be a description, and it will say certified translator and combination of languages. If you are certified, for example, from Spanish to English, you cannot complete a job from English to Spanish. It should be certified that way, that's shown in the association. Next slide, please. So the main benefits, of course, there are some benefits. We can increase our income. You increase your clientele. So the clients will take a look for professional, for quality. So you will increase your standards for the quality work. Also, you will have the opportunity to network with different people from the professional field, with the colleagues from the same combination of languages. The association organized some professional development. So you will be included in the directory. So as mentioned before, it will show the information on their website. Accessing regular professional development. And the good thing, you will pay just one fee, but you will have multiple jobs from different clients. What are the requirements to work with ISC as a translator? So we work with all mentioned categories of translators, with professionals. These kind of translations are accepted by IRCC, Citizenship Canada, educational institutions, IQUAS, employment, like 80–90%. We work with associates, and we work with certified translations, mandatory for Passport Canada, for certification for child care staff, and there are different organizations. So next slide, please. If you want to find out more information about us, about how to build your career in this field, please reach out to our website, and you can connect with us on social media as well. So we'll be happy to assist you, to guide you. And our colleagues from employment department will be more than happy to assist you. So this is our contact information, and we would like to thank you for attention, and we will open the floor for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mela and Jessa, for sharing information about the topic. And I'm sure participant will have lots of questions. And before we move on to the question and answer session from the clients, at this point of time, we would like to say goodbye to our audience who have joined us live on Facebook. And after that, we'll move on to the question and answer.